Ladies and gentlemen, today we're reviewing what might be the weirdest Spider-Man in my entire collection, and that is of course going to be the Last Stand Spider-Man. Now this is based off a version of Spider-Man that basically refuses to give up, and it's a pretty tragic story, and I'm pretty sure he dies at the end or something like that, but I'm sure a lot of you saw my short the other day because you guys were not happy with how I talked about this suit, and hopefully my opinion changes a little bit today as we review this guy. Honestly, there's no point in delaying, so let's just get straight into the review.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to. Ah!
Getting started, I want to say I got mine from Pop Collectibles. Huge shout out to them. You can use my code COSMA for a discount when you're shopping with them. And with that being said, the box is dope. I actually really do like the art. And then when you remove the outer layer, you of course can see the very interesting suit design on the inside. But we're going to get it out and hopefully I can change my mind a little bit. But would love to know down below, are any of you fans of this version of Spider-Man? Have you read the comics? I myself have not. I've just read what you guys said in the comments. Actually getting this guy out, and I've got to say, suit quality wise, he feels great. It's not pleather. I think it's just this weird elastic rubber material. The jeans feel great. I'll say the whole thing is tailored very nicely. The jeans hug the legs beautifully, and he's just got some basic, boots on like that. The mask is actually pretty unique because it has no web lines on it, and I actually kind of like that design choice. And I will say, you can get his arms resting super naturally down his sides, which I'm always a fan of, and the gloves have really nice wrinkle texture. But again, suit design wise, I don't know, man. I'm not sold. I wish the jacket was more of like an open leather jacket style. I think that would have been sick, but I do want to cover the articulation real quick. The jacket actually doesn't limit him too much. I thought this dude was literally just going to be a brick man, but no, he can pull off a fair amount of range of motion. The jacket is thick, but it's not too thick to the point where you can't bend the arms. As you can see, you can definitely get some good movement. And then with the lower half, like the jeans are literally just fabric, so you can pose this however you want. And honestly, I'd say that articulation is pretty impressive. And the boots themselves have a really good range of motion as well. So, but yeah, guys, let's get into the accessories and everything else with this figure. Up first, it has to be the swap out lenses, and I never really use these. They just make him look a little bit meaner, but I personally prefer the wide open lenses, but that's just me. So it'll be awesome for some fighting poses that we're going to try out later. But yeah, let's get those regular lenses back on. The next accessory is actually from the game. I believe this is the web grabber, is what people said in my YouTube comments. I didn't really use gadgets in the game. I feel like they made the game like so easy, so I always opted to not use them. That's why I don't recognize this. But hey, the detail is cool, and I guess Hot Toys just needed something to throw in here. And of course, the standout accessory, the reason why I bought this figure, and no, that was not a joke, this is literally why I bought the figure. You get the Oscorp symbiote canister. I think this accessory is so sick. Obviously, you can see the tiny little Venom on the inside. Unfortunately, it doesn't open, and there's no light up effects or anything like that as far as I can tell. I think that would have been a really cool touch, but hey, I'm not complaining because the detail on this thing is amazing, and it even magnetically attaches to his back, even though I'm not going to be having him hold this. Again, it's weird that they chose to give it to this Spider-Man, but hey, moving on, you get a nice selection of hands, and like I said before, these all have really nice wrinkle texture. I'd say these really do look like gloves. But ladies and gentlemen, now it is time to move on to the second tray of accessories, and you get what might be my least favorite accessory, the Spider-Man figures and their metal arms. Now, I will give Hot Toys credit. They did give these a really muddy paint style, whereas the other ones are just clean, so that's cool, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've never been a fan of these arms. They take up way too much space. However, Hot Toys are using a different form of connecting. On the old Spider-Man figures, there was 4 ugly holes on the back, which I absolutely hated, and now they have this magnetic back piece that you don't have to have the holes showing. Really wish we could have got these with the other Spider-Man because damn, those holes are ugly, but hey, we're gonna try it out on this brand new Spider-Man. I think these magnets are gonna have to be pretty strong for these to work, and yeah, it's definitely pretty strong. Is it gonna be strong enough to hold up all 4 metal arms? We're about to test that out right now because I do not think it is personally, but I will take this over the ugly 4 holes. I will say that in a heartbeat. Love to know down below, do any of you actually use these metal arms? But once we actually finally got them on, and I can confidently say, like I suspected, these are not strong enough to hold up on the figure, at least not comfortably. Kind of have to pose the arms in a very specific way or else it's just going to constantly fall off, which pretty much means you can't pose these the way that you want. Show you right now, I'm going to have him standing and it just constantly falls off because of the weight of the arms on the front are pulling them down. down. I even tried flipping the arms upside down to see if the magnetic connection would be stronger, but unfortunately it was not. It just kept falling. This was really the only position I could get the arms to stay on without falling off, but unfortunately that means you can't pose these like striking or anything like that because they will fall. Like I'm gonna show you right now, if you pose these forward, it falls immediately. And that's simply because the magnets are just not strong enough to hold that front weight. But honestly, I don't even mind. I had no intentions of ever using these arms. They're going right back in the box like all of the other ones always do. Oh, it is that time of the video where I lay out all the accessories, including these webs that I didn't show, and we talk about, is the price worth it for this guy? Now, I believe the sideshow price for this guy is $300, which is honestly asking a lot for a basic Spider-Man figure, in my opinion. Guy really doesn't do anything or bring anything new to the table. There's nothing innovative about him. It's literally just a dude in a jacket with a Spider-Man mask. I think if this was priced somewhere in the $250 range, it would be a much easier sell, but for $300, I really don't know what we're paying for here. Obviously, you do get some cool accessories. Like, for some people, I'm sure they're really gonna like this drone. Me personally, I don't give a fuck, but that's just me. Maybe if this had come with a diorama base, I could see the $300 being easier to justify, but of course, you also get the symbiote canister, which I will hype up. This accessory is so sick, but it is not worth $300 like I paid to get this thing. But if you do buy it, at least you are getting one of the coolest Spider-Man accessories from the video game series so far. And I don't even know what to say about these arms. They're barely functional in most poses. They're ugly as hell in my opinion. If you like these, I'm sorry, but I just think these look disgusting. To this day, whenever I see people's collections, nobody ever has the arms installed on their Spidey figures because everybody knows these just take up way too much space. So is this guy worth $300? I'm gonna say a hard no, unless you are the biggest Last Stand Spider-Man fan of all time. Like, genuinely, I don't know who else this figure is for. You can get him around the $220, $250 range. I'd say it's a fair deal. Now guys, on to comparisons. Here's what he looks like next to the Advanced Suit 2.0, the main suit from the Spider-Man game. And despite all the hate, I'm a big fan of this suit. I really like it. Pretty much only bought this guy to give him that symbiote canister he's holding. And I didn't show you guys the display base, but it's just a basic Spider-Man one that the rest of them come with. Again, a diorama would have been sick, like a gritty Last Stand style, like brick wall diorama. I would have loved that personally, but yeah, it just says Last Stand suit. This is nitpicking as hell, but the font sucks ass, bro. I'm sorry. Now guys, it is time to get into the posing segment of the video, and I will say this guy definitely improves a lot when he is posed. The first pose we're going to be doing is him punching Wolverine. Again, because he's wearing a leather jacket, I will say the creases do look much more natural now, because obviously jackets do crease, so you don't have that weird issue with all the other Spider-Man where the crease is just so ugly. Next pose is just going to be him uppercutting Wolverine. I think this looks sick because their colors complement each other so well. The super vibrant red with the super vibrant yellow and blue on Wolverine. Guy poses really easily. His joints are pretty smooth, and the leather jacket isn't bouncing the arms back down or anything. The next pose you guys better appreciate, because this took me damn near like 45 minutes, bro. They fell over so many times, but I actually really like this pose. I'm definitely going to be making this the thumbnail of the video, I think. So yeah, if you guys had any doubts about this guy posing, he definitely can pose. Just be careful and don't have it fall over like mine did right here. And for the last pose of the video, I figured I'd give Wolverine a W and have him, you know, about to dominate Spider-Man, or however you want to take that. And if you guys think I don't sound as excited, it's because this suit really just isn't for me. I'm trying really hard to like it, but I just don't think it meshes with me that much. If you like it, I'm more than happy for you. I hope you guys do grab it yourself. I had to rate this figure. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for me personally, comparing it to all other figures. But if you're truly looking for a Last Stand Spider-Man, then it's an easy 9 out of 10. There's not many flaws with it besides the arms. Thank you everybody for watching this. Let me know what you think of this suit down below in the comments. As always, praise God everybody, and stay blessed.